Almost half the MPs in the Lok Sabha have criminal charges pending against them, including charges of rape and murder.
By now, most of you would have seen this clip or a meme based on it. The Singapore Prime Minister's comments about India's democracy have led to a diplomatic uproar here in India. Many of us have even taken offense to it. But even if we don't like him saying it, the idea that Indian politics is a dirty business is fairly mainstream in India too. But this factual statement that half of our MPs have criminal cases against them, what does that really mean? Are those statistics a fair way to judge our democracy? Does our parliament really have dangerous criminals sitting and making our laws? Let me explain. Before I dive into that, I just want to quickly remind you to support our journalism at the News Minute. We cannot do stories like this which take time, effort and resources without your support. So do become a member of the News Minute today, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So the Singapore Prime Minister's comments appear to be based on the 2019 report by the Association for Democratic Reforms, or ADR. It looked at the criminal background of India's MPs based on their affidavits before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. ADR found that at least 43% of India's MPs have criminal cases against them. So yes, one could say, like the Singapore Prime Minister did, that almost half of India's Lok Sabha MPs have criminal cases against them. But the issue is that figures never tell the whole story. So what kind of criminal cases are we talking about exactly? Let's break this down. Out of the 43%, 14% are bailable offences and where the maximum punishment is less than 5 years. The remaining 29% are serious criminal cases. ADR has 8 criteria for an offence to be listed as a serious criminal case. This includes charges like rape and murder, but also offences like assault, kidnap, bribery, corruption, and a whole lot more. Taking these statistics at face value and then suggesting that 29% of India's MPs are criminals would be misleading. Here's why. 1. We often miss the context when we talk about such crimes. Take for example Dean Kuriakose, the Congress MP from Idukki in Kerala. He is notoriously known as the MP with the most number of criminal cases. A staggering 204 cases, which include serious offences like culpable homicide, house trespass, etc. But at least 193 of these cases are in connection with a flash hartal called by the Youth Congress over the murder of 2 of his workers in Kasaragod in February 2019. The Kerala High Court had ordered that Dean Kuriakose, who was the Youth Congress president then, be named as an accused in all cases registered across the state in relation to that one flash hartal. This was because the Kerala High Court banned flash hartals just weeks earlier. 2. Many of these cases are filed during routine political activity. Politicians take part in dharnas and protests, and many result in conflict with the police or other parties. Now, every time such an event takes place, those participating are booked for rioting, unlawful assembly, voluntarily causing hurt to deter public servants from discharge of his duty, assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty, etc. Remember, all of these are criminal cases. Some of them are bailable and some of them are non-bailable offences. In a nutshell, many of the criminal cases against politicians are for protests, a fundamental aspect of any democracy. Take this chart for instance, which shows that at least 90% of Kerala's Lok Sabha MPs have criminal cases against them. Sounds alarming, right? But you'll have to dig a little deeper to unearth the true picture. Out of the 20 MPs in Kerala, at least 10 have been booked for participating in protests and hartals. 3. Many of these criminal charges may be politically motivated. Ruling parties across India very often foist false cases on opposition leaders. Vindictive politics is the norm in many states, and those in power routinely misuse the law to harass their opponents, like criminal defamation cases, a favorite among many political leaders to target those in opposition and journalists. Who can forget the 200-odd defamation cases that former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha filed between 2011 and 2016? So how many parliamentarians have cases of rape and murder against them? According to ADR, 3 out of the 539 MPs it analysed had cases of rape. That's 0.5%. 11 MPs had cases of murder against them. That's about 2% of India's elected representatives. The problem is lumping the 43% who have criminal cases with the 2% charged with murder, or the 3 MPs booked for rape. Of course, I'm not saying that there is no criminality in Indian politics. Anyone who follows Indian politics would know not to make such a blanket statement. But to go by figures alone is deeply misleading. And to judge India's democracy the way the Singapore Prime Minister has is unfair. What are your thoughts on the issue? Tell us in the comments. Also, if you've liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends.